It's Sunday, so that means it's time for another featured creature. There is no shortage of animals in our area, and today photojournalist Dakota Casteel introduces us to an animal known to be one of the biggest primates living on Madagascar.
This week, we're checking out a critically endangered mammal from Madagascar that looks like it had just a little bit too much coffee to drink.
These are red-ruffed lemurs. They are very unique even in the lemur world. There are over 100 species of lemurs. They're one of the few primate species who actually have litters of offspring and build nests. All lemurs can only be found on the small island of Madagascar, so that's where these guys come from. They're critically endangered. All species of lemurs are critically endangered. There's not much we can do for them at this point. Deforestation is their biggest threat. There's just so many people on the island of Madagascar that have no other way to make money besides slashing and burning the forest, so it can be wreaking havoc on their populations, as well as the bushmeat trade and the pet trade are also terrible for these guys. They have very loud calls that echo through the forest. That's actually where lemurs kind of got their names. Lemur means ghosts of the forest.
So with lemurs being able to live in groups, do they have some form of hierarchy?
They also have a matriarchal society. The females are actually in charge. And that's because they do see better in color than the male lemurs. So they can better lead their whole group to the brightly colored fruits and flowers that the whole group needs to eat to survive.
Can you kind of talk about what happens when they eat flowers? Would they be considered pollinators in that situation?
When they stick their noses in those flowers, they get pollen stuck all over their face, and then when they move on to the next flower, they're pollinating that flower. So they are considered one of the world's largest animals that pollinates. We usually only think of saving pollinators like bees and butterflies, but these guys are really important for that process as well.
These guys have been climbing around all over the place. Is it safe to say that they're good climbers?
Lemurs are amazing climbers. They actually have, where we have our fingertips, extra skin on their fingertips and toes. It's called extra thick finger and toe pads, and that's what gives them their grip. They don't use their claws to climb at all. It's simply that extra skin there that helps to give them such a good grip. And they do live most of their lives up in the trees, especially this species, the red-ruffed lemurs. They're going to spend as much time in the trees as possible, and they can actually hang upside down thanks to those really strong grips as well to eat.
Red-ruffed lemurs are unable to show expression because of their lack of facial muscles. For this week's featured creature, I'm Dakota Casteel.
I love seeing them upside down and learning all that information. Well, to see this story again or any of our other featured creature segments, go to our website, NewsChannel9.com.